Fall is fast approaching, one of my favorite times of year. But not only is it beautiful in the mountains with the aspen trees shining so brightly, it's also budget season. How many people love budget season? Wait, am I the only one? Hi, I'm Heather Cole with Lodestar Solutions. And today I wanted to chat with you about the effects of budget season and kind of the frustration of it all, right? Like, think about it. Who gets excited about budget season? Probably not a lot of people. And what does it entail? In a lot of corporations, it means that someone puts together the templates, they send them out via Excel or whatever tool they're using. They ask the various departments to commit to a certain budget. And then what happens? They say, no, cut your spending more, right? Because here's the challenge that we're all having right now. Due to the recent inflation, everything costs more. And so the executives are trying to, get those numbers down. There isn't an organization out there right now that is not actively trying to cut costs. And although I understand it, and although we're in this crazy time of uncertainty, you see, here's the thing. In uncertain times, people hunker down. And it's part of that like lizard brain we all have that had evolved over thousands and thousands of years that tells us that when danger or uncertainty is present, it's kind of fight or flight. We tend to hunker down and kind of like wait out the winter, so to speak. Now, this is productive and useful in certain ways, but history also shows us that if you look at some of the greatest companies came out of times of Great Depression or recessions. So what happens when we cut costs too much? We might be cutting off that innovation, that strategic goal that we have may be contingent on us not cutting costs too much. So I was thinking about this the other day while I was hiking with my dog Lou, and I was just pondering if I could give companies one thing that would significantly help them cut costs. And I was just like thinking, cut costs in general. Like, what would that one thing be? Like, you get one thing. You get to rub the magic bottle and the genie pops out, and they give you one wish to fix or do differently. And every organization in the world that would help them decrease costs and increase profits. And you know what? At first I thought this would be hard to answer. Maybe you're thinking of something right now. And have you ever thought, what would that be? Well, I really came up with the answer quite quickly, actually, because I realized that there is one common denominator in every aspect of business that if we fixed and improved that one thing just slightly, if everyone did their part, and by the way, to improve this costs nothing. That's right, zilch is zero, nothing. And so my answer, are you ready for this? Maybe you guys want to put in the comments what you think it is before I answer this. The answer is communication. That's right. Although I'm a finance and technology person, I've realized in over 20 years of running my company that the success factor to our clients implementing technology faster, delivering better solutions, being able to have a more robust planning process, there's one common denominator, and that is the companies that had better communication lines and had people that really worked at not just listening, not just active listening, but what I'm going to call engaged listening, which is not just listening and really hearing the person, but asking the probing questions. You're going one step further. Companies that taught their people to do that, it ended up decreasing the cost of implementations. But here's the thing. It's so much bigger than that. There are so many companies out there that the people in the organization don't understand the strategic goals. At Heather Eyes, my coaching company, where we coach female CFOs and people that aspire to be, we have found that many times they come to us because they're frustrated, they lack the confidence, they're just like, they feel like they don't know what they're supposed to do. And oftentimes it's because they don't have clarity on the strategic goals. Maybe the CEO is more entrepreneurial minded, has tons of great ideas, but they don't know which one to follow. I used to be guilty of this as a CEO. I used to have all these ideas and I drove my team nuts. But when I learned to clearly articulate the direction we're going, at least for the next 90 days, and we follow the traction method by Gino Wickman. If you haven't read that book, get it on the required reading list. And what I found is when I gave them that clarity, that understanding, and not just told them our strategic goals of the company, but here's the other magic piece of this. Write this down. You not just only have to share the direction that you're going, you have to share the why you're going there. This is such a key ingredient because this is the secret sauce of getting people in alignment and to follow your goal. If you have maybe in one department where it appears that team members are kind of questioning the ideas of the leader of that department, oftentimes it's because they have not been included in the discussions of why they're doing certain things. So I will do another video just on the why because it's so powerful. But today we're focusing on communication and getting our costs down by increasing communication. Now imagine this. The executives clearly define the strategic goals of the company. The goals are clearly articulated down to the departments and why. Each department understands their role in that process and listens and understands and asks the probing questions so that they can be better at their job to help achieve that strategic goal. Now, when that happens, everyone is like in unison. It's kind of like those dragon boat races. Have you ever seen those dragon boat races? We have them in Tampa where they have these little boats and everyone paddles and there's a person up front that is doing like this drum to do the cadence of which they're supposed to row. And there's someone also steering in the back. But oftentimes you get teams that clearly did not practice and they start paddling like really hard. And a lot of times they have like all the men on one side and all the women on the other. And it's like totally leaning. And sometimes they're doing this jiggy-jaggy thing, like zigzagging through the water because the one side hits too powerfully and the other side is trying to overcome that. But if you watch the teams that have practiced and are unison and they know they've been getting that clear communication, the cadence of the drum, those are the people, those are the teams that look like they freaking sail through the water, like they're like a little rocket. That's what you want your organization to be. You want it to be the rocket to get you to the strategic goals. And it's so simple. The simplest ingredients. Now, don't get me started on the fact that, yes, there's complexities in every goal, every business, and there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. However, if we just each one said, today is the day I'm going to be a better communicator. I'm going to listen more. I'm going to ask the probing questions. And I'm going to make people feel good about sharing their expertise. If we started just there, imagine how much better the projects would move, everyone's decisions would move. I guarantee you will save costs. Now, you guys might be going, Heather, it's not going to work in our company. I'm going to tell you, it works in every company, in every country. I'll just give you a concrete example because a lot of you listening to this might be FP&A people. And at Lodestar Solutions, we've been helping companies for over 20 years implement IBM planning analytics. What I have found in those, actually, for me personally, longer than 20 years, more like 25 years, is companies often come with a goal of revamping and improving their budget process, but they do it all wrong. And here's what I mean. This is the common thing we see time and time again, is they come to us and say, hey, we want to look at the IBM planning solution. We need a new planning tool. They think that technology is going to solve all their problems. And technology can solve a lot of problems. But I'm going to tell you, stop looking at technology. And maybe you're like a new CFO to a company. We're seeing this a lot right now, where new CFOs are coming in and they're actually questioning the tools and technologies and oftentimes the models that they've used in the past. Now, if you're the FP&A person that designed those models, just know they're not gunning for you. It feels really personal when they question them. But here's the thing. What they're saying is that we need to revamp this process. Now, what people naturally go to is that the models we have today are broken. Let's get a new tool. Not the right approach, people. Stop it. What you want to do instead is you want to internally define and communicate internally the strategic goals of the company, clarify the direction, clarify what you're going to need to measure success in those areas, what KPIs, what measures, and now decide what the requirements are for your planning models. Ideally, you're going to go to like a rolling forecast in certain areas. So you're getting more frequent updates, that you're allowing it to change, to ebb and flow with the changes in the marketplace, with inflation, with government restrictions, with supply chain problems. You want an agile model. And when you have an agile model and you have a defined one, by the way, everything can change, but you've documented what your needs are, then and only then do you look for software. You see, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to go buy software. And once we buy the software, our consultants will help us define the new models. And here's reality, like 95%, maybe even higher than that, of companies that go that approach, that think, I'll buy software and then the consultants will lead me to redesign the model. They never. In fact, what they do instead is they say, hey, we're running out of time. Let's just take what we had before and plunk it in the new solution. And when they do that, they will get success. They will get a faster budget process. But what we typically find is like a year later, they're like, this has helped. We have the budget way faster. It's easier to consolidate, all of that. But they don't find that it's getting that extra strategic value they had sought. Well, that's because they didn't redefine their models. They didn't start with the communication in the front point. Does this all make sense to you guys? I hope so. But here's the thing. All you have to do to decrease costs across the board is one thing. Commit right now to improving communication in your business, in your teams. And here's how it can start. Now, I'm one of those people, I sometimes am not good at listening. Sorry, true confession. In fact, I do this. I'm guilty. I do this to my husband and he hates it. And I'm committing to working on this. So he'll be talking and I just pick up my phone and and he can tell I'm not listening, right? Why? Because I'm texting, right? So guys and gals, right now, let's all commit to being more actively present and engaging with questions when our spouses, our significant other, our kids are talking to us. Put the freaking phone down. And then when you practice that at home and get that muscle built that you're going to be fully present, asking those probing questions, then what you want to do is you want to bring that to work. Now, I'll warn you, this method works so well that it can cause household issues, shall I say. I had a client a number of years ago that was having communication problems. And I sat him down and I said, here's your homework. You're going to go home. And when your wife is talking, you are not touching your phone. You are not reading a book. You are not reading the paper. You are looking at her and engaging in conversation, fully 100% present. Can you do that? He's like, yeah, Heather, I'll try. So what does he do? He goes home and he does it. And he calls me the next day and he's like, I think I spooked my wife. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, she was like a little unnerved by the fact that I was asking questions like I was really interested in her day. And then he says, she accused me of having an affair. To which I laughed hysterically. And then he responded that he had to explain that he was working with a coach and that I was helping him with communication and that this was one of his homework assignments. And she says to him, tell Heather the next time she's in Miami that I am making her dinner. So this works, people. Let's all commit. Put it in comments right now. Be like, I commit to better engage conversations. That will save your organization a ton of money. Be the leader, show the change, and then go teach your team to do this as well. Hopefully you guys got a nugget out of this. I am committing also today to more frequently putting up these little YouTube videos on lessons that I've learned working with clients for over 25 years. And my goal in that is to make it so you don't have to learn these lessons the hard way. So today I'm signing off. That's Heather from Lodestar Solutions. And please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you on our next video.